What's up, you guys? Rasathi out here in Singapore. Thank you so much for joining me back on this live Night Owl podcast. I'm actually really excited and nervous and terrified all at the same time, and I can't even begin to explain where all this is coming from, but I'm gonna do my best, okay? So for years and years, I've been working on my coaching business. I have started off as this emotional intelligence coach. I mean, to be honest, when I first started, I didn't know what the hell I was going to coach. I wasn't sure. And it wasn't until we did a couple of experiments and exercises within the Crown for Success coaching program that I realized, okay, I have a knack for talking to people and encouraging them to pursue their dreams and helping them understand their feelings a little bit more. I'm kind of in that space. So what started out as emotional intelligence coaching and meditation coaching at the same time evolved into something more. But at the time, the term emotional intelligence was not something that people actually understood. Eventually, in the course of the 3 years, it's a buzzword now. People know what it means, but they still don't know how it applies to everyday life. So I mean, it's everything that I've ever taught, right? I'm constantly telling you that if you can't say it to a 6-year-old for them to understand, you probably don't know it well enough. So I finally kind of pared it down. And I have discovered that basically what I'm teaching is human relations skills, people skills, if you will. And I think it's really, really important that we know ourselves best before we can go out and try and talk to anyone or try and develop a relationship or a friendship or, a coworker situation, any of those things. To be able to get along with other people, you need to know yourself first. So I am teaching self-awareness for the ultimate purpose of being a really great people person, people skills, right? So I wasn't sure how I was going to get that across. With COVID and the quarantine and all this stuff that's been going on, we lost half a year. Okay, no, we didn't lose half a year, but we kind of sped through it. And I don't even know if it was in fast forward or on pause. The time is gone. We've gone through 6 months of a year already, and I was trying to figure out how I could actually help people. I was trying to listen into more of what people were saying, and I got involved with Twitter, y'all. I entered the Twitterscape, and I discovered that people are of two minds in Twitter. And while they were very open about what they felt at the moment, it was also fleeting. So by the time I would get a hold of their tweet and maybe respond to them to see if I could help out, or to at least offer some support, it was oh no, I was just, it was just in the moment. I didn't really mean it. And I'm thinking, okay. So for me as an empath, it was nightmare situation because I'm over here trying to figure out where people are missing support and guidance, where they're actually really struggling with life in general, because here they are stuck in the house with their people, right? They're stuck in the house with their families, or maybe they're stuck in a house with nobody because maybe they're in a different country and they're only there for work, and now they don't get to go out and socialize at work. They're kind of doing work from home, but it's just them in an apartment, one room apartment or whatever. So I'm trying to figure out how I can help support mental health in general, hoping that Twitter would give me an idea. And eventually what I found was, yes, sometimes they say it in the moment, and sometimes they're joking it off because they don't want to be taken seriously, because they're afraid of what the repercussion would be, what the judgment would be if they were seen as having a tough time and asking for help. So from there, I kind of evolved. I've been doing one-on-one coaching for a very long time. My clients have been from all over the world. I've done everything from clarity calls to business coaching based on, self-awareness. So they understand that what they're feeling in their gut, it really is valid. They should try it and see how it works. I've coached people from South Africa to Canada to China. I have dealt with people here in Singapore. A lot of my clients are old colleagues and old friends from the US as well. And then of course I have a couple of clients in Australia. So I'm actually happy. I like the work that I do. I enjoy it. And while the work itself has not changed, what I'm calling myself, how I'm describing what I do, that's kind of evolved. And it took me to see one of my old friends, Nylea Guerrero. She actually put up a video today talking about how her offerings have changed a little bit. She went from twin flame readings and angelic readings to sacred union readings and angelic readings. And now she's evolved again to divine masculine, divine feminine, which she's calling emperor and empress. Those are two cards in the tarot as well, and also angelic reading. So I think it's really, really great. I'm so proud of her. And when she was describing her new offerings, I was thinking, yo, you know what? To be honest, I'm not where I started. It's not the same thing that I described myself as when I first began. And I think there was a byline I tried to come up with years ago where I was trying to explain what I was coaching, and I think I described it something like a Sherpa, like a tour guide, a guide to emotional health, kind of like, and the picture I used to have in my mind was, you can't go down to the Grand Canyon by yourself. You kind of need somebody to guide you through there because they know the terrain really, really well. So I kind of like, handhold you a little bit and tell you where to step and look out for these things. And as I'm teaching you, by the end of the tour, you're going to know how to navigate these things by yourself as well. So I thought it was really cute and a different, what is it? A description, like a very imagery related description that described what it was that I was actually doing. And here I am thinking now, what is it that I do? Because I still get the question, oh, Rasathi, I know you're on, on Instagram, and I know you are very socially active and you speak about mental health, but I've known you for a year now and I really don't know how you make a living. What do you do? And I just now told people, you know what? I deal in emotional intelligence. But what I really do, the bare bones of it, I teach people skills. I teach people how to be very self-aware. And so, because they're self-aware and they know how to develop their people skills and also recognize how other people are behaving, and so are able to communicate with them better as well. So I would like to say that I'm a self-development person. I am a life coach, but these are the things I really love to teach. I love teaching people skills. I love teaching self-awareness because honestly, once you know yourself, there's a lot you will recognize in the world around you based on the things that you recognize in yourself. You will start to see yourself in the world around you. And that's just the most beautiful aha moment that I could actually explain. So with that in mind, the scared and excited and terrified feel, like all of that together, that comes from a big step I finally took. I've taken the step before. I'm going to say that right now. I've taken the step before and then backed off really fast because my nervous system wouldn't let me. And I was like, oh my God, imposter. I can't possibly do this. So this is now the third time that I've launched the Dear Rasathi Facebook group. The first time I launched it, I did have a couple people come in, but they weren't really responsive and they didn't really engage very much. And perhaps it's because I didn't have the know, like, trust factor back then, and I didn't really quite understand it. But now here I am once again trying this one more again because I think it's time. I think it's really, really necessary for me to step out and do my own thing. And whether people come or not, guess what? The first group of people that join me, they're in for a real treat because the smaller the group, the more attention you get. You get me? So as long as you respond to the posts that I put out, as long as you reach out and message us and engage with me, talk to me. This is meant to be a group for discussion. And as long as you guys actually jump on board and talk to me and let me know where you're having trouble, you don't have to do it publicly in the group itself. You can, like a post and comment or whatever generically, but if you really have a problem or a real question that you need answering, you can definitely DM me and I will address it in the group generically as well. So at least that way you find like you're getting something out of the sessions specific to your situation, even though I'm teaching generalized skill sets that would help you become a better, more self-aware person. And because you're self-aware, be a more effective people person. Because let me tell you something, there isn't a job on the planet that you can do that at some point does not mean human interaction. Yeah, okay, AI is coming along. I get it. It's coming. And not that I'm actually excited about it, but yes, AI is coming. But in the meantime, because AI is so great, we're losing a lot of our simple people skills. We don't know how to hold a damn conversation. We don't know how to do anything further than, hey, how are you? And keep walking. We don't do the things like, oh, hey, how are you? And actually have a conversation and say, oh my gosh, I remember you said that you had this going on. How did that go? We don't keep in touch with people. We don't remember things about other people's stories anymore. We're so self-consumed and we're so worried about numbing whatever we're struggling with that we forget we are tribal people. We are a tribal creature. We need that social interaction. And this is why, while we're totally connected by social media, a lot of us feel really, really alone. It's that same feeling of being in a party surrounded by people, wall to wall people, and you feel out of place and alone. So I'm trying to combat that feeling. I'm trying to get people to connect with each other once again. And how do you connect? You got to know yourself. And then you got to recognize yourself and other people. That's how we start relating, right? I think I had this question last night when I did the live video talking about why I'm starting this group. And somebody was like, well, how do you relate to people? How do you find, things to talk about? Well, obviously, you need to know enough about yourself that you might be able to listen well and hear what the other person is saying and maybe be like, oh my gosh, yeah, I like this color too. Or, oh my gosh, yeah, I've been to that place. I really enjoyed myself. Oh my gosh, yeah, I've heard that song. And you know what? The lyrics are really powerful. So it starts with little things that are common between the two people so you can actually start to carry a conversation. This also means, you guys, in the dating world, you can cut to the chase and actually talk about the things that really matter rather than, oh, hey, how are you doing? Have you had your coffee? Can we go out to dinner? And then actually find something we can talk about over dinner. Because, yeah, I know everyone wants to, bump bones and everything, all of that. I understand. But there are a lot of people who are friends with benefits out there or one night stands out there that are totally losing themselves in this hustle of a culture, and they're not really connecting to anybody, and they feel really badly because it's affecting their self-esteem. It's affecting the way they feel about their bodies. The worst thing possible, in my opinion, is a friends with benefits situation, unless both of you are very, very clear all the time about what you're expecting, as in like after every encounter. The only way that I could see a friends with benefits situation could actually work is if you do it one time and one time only, and then you don't go back again. But even then, more than likely, one of those two people is going to be like, you know what, I thought you liked me. I mean, how much more vulnerable can you be than to be completely naked in front of somebody else? And of course, we get carried away in those moments and say things that feel good in the moment, but people carry with them afterwards, and it's really difficult. So this is what I'm talking about. I want to teach people how to be themselves, how to love all of themselves. Because then, no matter what happens, whether it's typhoon or COVID or job retrenchment or maybe a breakup or a divorce, no matter what happens, you know who you are. And you can pick up the pieces and not be so destroyed trying to search for yourself again because you lost yourself in the relationship, or you lost yourself in the idea of who you were because this is where you were at this level of life in your company. There are so many people who are CEOs at some point and something happens and they're no longer CEOs. Or maybe they decided, you know what, I'm going to branch out because this is no longer fulfilling. I'm going to try something different. And suddenly they're like, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? Why did I even take this risk? Who the fuck did I think I was? So in order for you to combat all of that in all facets of your life, being a mom, not easy. It changes your body and your mind. The attention you receive, all of a sudden, you can't tell if it's for the kid or for you. It's very, very difficult to manage. And that's why I want to teach this. This is why I love teaching this. So you guys, I opened up the Dear Rasathi group one more time. This time, I'm a little more prepared. This time, I've got my curriculum backing me up, and I am excited because I've made it simple enough where I'm not overgiving either. I know you guys need help. I know you can't afford the price point that I was charging for one-on-one counseling. But you know what? 8 classes a month boils down to about $12.50 per class. And I know it's worth way more, but I also know you need the access. So more than me speaking to you directly for an entire hour, if I speak to the group and teach something generic and you have access to it, that means you have time to absorb. You have other people's questions and comments that will come in as well that will help you shape your thinking, include more perspectives in your, analysis of what's going on, and help you get there a little bit faster. Because maybe you're afraid to ask a question, maybe someone else isn't, and you get to learn from them as well. Group coaching is great that way because the team comes together and the team asks questions, and that way you can support each other. It makes you feel better to know that in the group itself, there are at least a couple of you that are going through something similar. When I do one-on-one coaching, a lot of people are like, yeah, but am I crazy though? Am I the only one going through this? And I can't prove to you that you're not the only one. But in a group, I can show you. So you guys, I'm excited. Starting July 1st, which is in about 8 days. July 1st, we're going to start classes. I'm opening up the group. We're going to start with a little bit of a party. I want to do a little bit of I don't know, I think I want to do a song and dance or something where everyone joins in for a live session just to introduce themselves, just to say hi, get to know what the group is like. And I do want it to be fairly confidential. So if you don't want to interact with each other, that's fine. But know that you're not by yourself. You're in a group, supportive space. It's safe for you to voice your opinions or at least comment a little bit or bring me a piece of content that you're having trouble absorbing so we can talk about it. This is meant for discussion. And you know what? For $100 a month, I think it's totally worth it. In my opinion, you check for yourself if you would like, but honestly speaking, this is the platform. Okay, I'm doing it on Facebook. It's a private group, which means I have to allow you in. Once you pay the fee, I'm going to allow you in. Once you decide to come in, I'm going to ask that you introduce yourself just for yourself itself. So everybody can see everyone else's faces and we get to know each other a little bit as a group, because that's how you create a safe space. From there, we're going to have 2 classes a week. The first class is a generic class about skill sets. The second class is based on whatever questions or comments we get throughout the week, so I can address specific questions you've had. But that also will be live, so you can join in or check it out later. The point is, the content is there. In between, I will have posts every day just to welcome you, to check on you, check your energy throughout the day, see how you're feeling. And you know what? I will have a couple of downloads in there too. So if you feel like it's easier for you to take it offline, print it out, and work on it yourself as well, perfect. I'm going to have that ready for you too. But the thing is, every month is themed. So by the end of the first month, you have about 2 days in the second month to go back and catch up if you need to catch up. So I suggest you plan your time wisely, because I don't want you to feel like you're overwhelmed at all. Because once those 2 days are up, I'm going to remove all of the content from the previous month, and we're going to start fresh with a brand new theme. So this means that once it's gone, it's not coming back. You don't get to go through all the archives, because I feel like that's really, really difficult to wade. That's a lot of content to wade through. And I think it's hard for my groups that I've been in before as a part of attending someone else's group that they were leading. It was really hard to like scroll through and 5,000 different videos, and I can't figure out what was going on this month or this week. So I want to make sure that it's easy access, that it's very, very simple for you to go through and figure out what's going on. And I want you to focus on this month so I could really get the discussion going. All of that for $100 a month. So for the price of one night going out for drinks, I think it's totally worth it. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comments below. If you want to directly ask me something, DM me. You know how to get in touch. But in the meantime, you guys, consider this. You have about 8 days to join before the first month's kickoff party, which is July 1st. And I'm so looking forward to seeing all of you, because I know I can make a difference. I know I can make your life a little less complicated, because the skills I'm going to teach you, you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. And no, I don't want you stuck to me for the rest of your life. I don't want you to have to need me always, forever. I'm going to teach you all that I can. And at some point, I'm expecting for you to leave the nest and try it on your own, because I know it works. I've seen it a couple hundred times with my own clients. So you guys, that's it for today. I'm so excited. If you have any questions, DM me. In the meantime, you're welcome to check out my Instagram page. The link is in my bio for the Dear Rasathi group. You can look it up on Facebook as well, but like I said, it's a private group, so you won't be able to see much, but you'll be able to see exactly what it looks like, okay? I love you guys, and I'll catch you again soon. Bye.